Better known as her alter ego, Miss Moonstruck, talented dancer Dominique Serrant regularly performs her bewitching blend of ballet and burlesque at the Moonstruck Lounge. At one time set for stardom on the West End stage, Dominique's path took an unexpected turn.
I'm a bit disappointed you didn't leave a portrait out for me. Perhaps you forgot? I've picked one anyway. I hope it wasn't your favourite. Maybe you can help me out next time? Okay.
Something has changed.
Gray's killer definitely knew him. Why? Because the crime scene had no signs of forced entry or exit, and only his coveted diamond orc figurine was missing. Justice Hoon, who was deputizing at the time, surmised the killer must have used a key. How did they get that key? Hoon had two theories. Firstly, perhaps Gray had befriended one of his subjects, or was having a romantic relationship with one, and thus had given them a key. Secondly, and more plausibly, perhaps the killer had simply found Mordecai's spare key. He kept it attached to a powerful magnet, out of sight, but easily within reach, above his doorway.
So there's this woman that comes to all of my shows, and I don't know anything about her. And I mean all of my shows, like here, London, Montreal, Cologne. And she's caught my eye, but every time a show finishes and I come out to look for her, she's just gone, like disappeared. Oh, women. I love them all. At the same time, I mean, they're just so beautiful and complex and basically like us, but so much sexier. Way to objectify. I don't think I'm ever going to settle down. He's polyamorous. They just don't know it yet. I'd used it once, months ago. I mean, I'd left Pip there and needed to get him for a gig.
Did you keep the key?
Nah. Actually, now you mention it, I can't remember. Maybe I've still got it.
Are those diamond? Oh, they're adorable. Look, Sunday, that's what I want for our birthday. Well, passion's important, but do you know what else you need? Money. Preferably lots of it. We have private courts and can afford private coaches, so we're very lucky. But it's essential if we're going to be the best in the world. You wouldn't believe how many people actually think we've got Made in Merlehaven stamped on the soles of our feet.
Mr. Gray's cleaner says that she discovered you alone inside the studio a couple of weeks before his death.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that. Monday left her coat behind. I went back to get it.
How did you get in?
The spare key? It wasn't hidden very well. But I was only in there a moment and I put it right back.
He left me alone once in his loft, but it wasn't Halloween.
Did you know about the spare key?
No.
Did you take the diamond figurine?
No, why would I do that?
You seem agitated.
Because it sounds like you think I'm a suspect.
I asked him to lock the door during our sessions to make sure nobody could get in. That's when he told me about the spare key.
Ever use it?
I'm Vice Justice. I don't need a key. Doors simply open for me.
I had a locksmith make 2 keys for Mordecai and change the lock.
We only found one.
Well, then you've still got one to find.
Do you have a key?
No. Why would I? Keeps one above the doorway.
You knew about the spare?
Didn't everyone?
I told you I don't have a key. There was a spare key above the door, but that's not much use when you're locked inside.
Locked inside?
He liked to lock the doors when he painted me.
So you knew where the spare key was?
Obviously, I just told you.
Mordecai Gray was subdued before his murder in the most devious of ways, by a debilitating injection to the neck. A toxicology report from the coroner revealed that Gray had been dosed with a near-perfect amount of ketamine, just enough to tranquilize him without inducing a heart attack. So our murderer knew exactly what they were doing. Or maybe they got lucky. Either way, Gray was thought to have staggered around for dozens of seconds until he finally lost consciousness. The method of delivery is still disputed. Some reports say it was via syringe, whilst others believe it was a tranquilizer dart, such as the ones favored by boar hunters on Merlhaven. What does this mean for our investigation, though? Well, the murderer needed access to the drug, a syringe or dart, and perhaps some medical knowledge, unless dosage is something they could easily look up on a public worldwide resource electronically.
Yes,
It's tried, but I fell in love with my teacher. And I never told her. Kyoko didn't know for 1 minute where I wanted to place my second hand. A clockmaker's joke. If only life had been different.
Well, they split the embryo cells in half at a really early stage, so you get 2 for the price of 1. It's basically how twins develop anyway, except in our case the embryos were implanted into 2 different mothers. Apparently they do it all the time with cattle, but we were the first humans. It's really not a big deal.
I've decided I'm not coming back to Melhaven after the audition. I'm going to stay in Paris and start a new life. Which means I need money. So we can do this the easy way or the hard way. What's it to be?
Been in hospital a few times, normally palpitations. Just take whatever anxiety cocktail they offer me and head off to the stage. Performing arts, man. It's a killer.
They're already dead, so I'm just recycling them. Putting them to better use than just dropping them in the ground or throwing them in the furnace. Why do people have such a problem with it?
Why did you paint a doorway on the lighthouse? You're not Banksy. There's already a door on the lighthouse. It didn't need another one. It's tried, but I fell in love with my teacher. And I never told her. Kyoko didn't know for 1 minute where I wanted to place my second hand. A clockmaker's joke. If only life had been different.
She's got eyes like the Mona Lisa. Hey, maybe you should paint her, Mordecai. Hey, let's make a deal. I mean, honestly, if you want to pay for it, you can have it. Do you use people's blood in all your paintings? You cannot tell her that you're paying me. She thinks I'm paying you for a portrait, not the other way around. I swear, Mordecai, I love this woman, so do not upset her.
We both want to be number one. That's why we play doubles. But, to be brutally honest, if Monday's health meant she couldn't play anymore, I wouldn't be able to give it up. Give me a pin. I'll do it now. I don't care. Monday's the one that's afraid of needles. We had so many blood tests growing up. I used to do hers for her. She couldn't even look.
I looked it up. If you dream about a snake, it means there's something toxic in your environment. But in my dream, I was the snake. So maybe you should paint me as a snake, Mordecai. It would be the truth. I know what I'm doing. I just don't care anymore. Boxes of old rocks, photos, notebooks, needles, pills. It's all up in his old room. I know I need to get rid of it all. Some of it's pretty musty. I just don't know what to do with it.
It's pretty grim. I use these spiky contact lenses that go onto their eyeballs, and then it kind of grips the eyelid with little fish hooks to keep them in place. It's best not to think too much about what goes on to make the dead look normal. Mrs. Marshall wanted to see her husband's body before it had been fully prepared. She begged to do it herself, so I left for a while. But then when I came back, the body had gone. Allegedly, she taxidermied him, stood him in her hallway. There's a secret undertaker's oath. The bodies of the dead, they must be respected. They're all people's loved ones, not toys to play with, so respectfully, no. If you want to paint still life, get someone to sit still.
I've used ketamine for hunting in the past.
Do you know how much to administer to knock someone out?
Yes. I used to be a surgeon. That's not a crime, is it?
Would we find any in your house if we looked?
You'll need a warrant.
Your parents recently obtained ketamine via the pharmacy. Do you know why?
Well, you'd have to ask them. But they sometimes use animals as test subjects. Perhaps they needed to anesthetize them.
Do you know where they keep it?
In the lab, I presume, in our basement.
So you could have access to it if you wanted.
If I wanted, but I didn't.
I was prescribed ketamine in tablet form.
Why are you specifying tablets?
Because I assume it was a liquid form used on Mordecai.
How do you know that?
Well, because you can't inject tablets.
How do you know it was injected?
Well, I don't know, because force feeding him tablets sounds silly.
Ketamine is something I neither want nor have access to.
Possession of cannabis, though?
Yeah, and I already told you why I had that.
You found it in a corpse.
Yes. Ketamine is not my thing. Why are you asking? Is that what was used on Mordecai?
So, you administered the ketamine yourself, or did a doctor do it?
They showed me how much to give him, but I couldn't do it.
I see.
I returned it all to the pharmacy about a week before Halloween. You can check with them. It was all there.
We'll do that.
Don't tell anyone what I said, please. I'm not ashamed of it. I just think the world isn't quite ready for it yet.
Layla was a fan. We slept together for a while until she got pregnant. I mean, I probably would have stopped either way. The kid didn't make it.
Maybe the problem is I'm still grieving. I lost my dad and my career all in one hit. I never really dealt with it. It feels like there's this black pit in my stomach, and it's eating me from the inside out. I've got this insatiable hunger all the time. I've got to get away from this place.
Maybe it's something that medicine can't fix. Maybe she's just broken, like buttons. But Monday's a survivor. I'm not worried.
I initially thought my exhaustion was brucellosis from hunting boar in the Algiers. But it's genetic, Mordecai. Von Willebrand's disease. Sounds like I'm some kind of promiscuous playboy, doesn't it?
There aren't really any checks, so you wouldn't know if I was cremating an empty coffin or not. So yeah, it would be pretty easy.
I'm gonna do that trick where I drink and he still talks. That's every show! It's easy, watch.
Peter Piper pickle people, put them into pies.
See?
Lilith.
If you're going to sell a painting of me, I want a cut. Half. Up front. So I can leave this island and never come back. I need this, Mordecai. One way or another, I'm going to get the future I deserve.
I think it's easy to blame Dr. Jacob's death on the undulating hills, but they're not a thing, are they? It's not like they're the belly of this gigantic ocean monster we call Merlhaven. It was Jacob's decision.
I have a side hustle in a company that creates lab-grown meat. Cows and vegans are equally destroying the planet, in my opinion. What I'm doing is different.
We're in London next week, then Tokyo, then New York.
Drug dealer!
Daphne takes care of all of it.
Speak for yourself.
All I have to do is turn up.
'Cause I do all the work.
Miss Moonstruck, enchantée. The name was actually Leo's idea. He owns the bar. I'm a classically trained ballerina. Never done burlesque before, but I like it. Costumes, choreographing the routines. It's not a bad way to pass the time. Until I can get out of here.
Well, we spend 90% of our time training. This is obviously a lot easier now that we're no longer at school, but they used to give us time off for competitions. That didn't stop me getting straight A's, though. It's all about how you apply yourself.
I am Xavier Hahn, Melhaven's only clockmaker. And much like my life, my craft is a dying art.
There is actually another room in the gallery that was built over. But you only need to patrol the parts that you can get into. Don't go knocking down walls. And be extra vigilant tonight. They've reopened Gray's murder case and I've got a bad feeling about it. I'll talk to you tomorrow.